amazing shoes. There's so much history and creativity put into all of the unique and artistic footwear. You probably really have never even seen them or don't even know too much about them. But here with more on the Killer Heels exhibit is Lisa Small and Andrew Connors. I want to welcome both of you guys.
Thank you.
So let's start here. Lisa, you're the curator
Yes.
of this exhibit. Tell me about the just vast amount of shoes, the heels that you brought down.
Well, there are almost 200 shoes in the show, I think. I sometimes lose track, but I looked at so many shoes to try and put this together. But we have an amazing selection of, as you say, really sculptural, really fantastic high heels.
And who did you reach out to try to track down all these really intricate pieces?
Well, it's a combination. There are some historical shoes there, so we borrowed them from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, from the Batta Shoe Museum, from the Ferragamo Museum in Florence, but I also borrowed from over 50 different designers and design houses directly.
Oh, wow.
So it was a big logistical process.
And was the response just, you know, yes, here they are?
Yeah, every designer I reached out to, almost without exception, was really excited to participate and very generous with their loans.
That's great. And I believe we do have some pictures of some of the shoes that we could show you here in a bit. Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Wore at least one pair of these shoes?
One pair of shoes. It was really important to me to include a pair by Marilyn because, of course, in the 20th century, she's sort of the icon, and she was always in her high heel. So there's a great pair of Ferragamo stilettos that belong to her. They're gorgeous.
Any other celebrities?
There's a pair of shoes that were worn by Lady Gaga, two pair, in fact. And I know that Andrew added a pair owned by Madonna, right?
That's right.
Okay, what did you add for Madonna?
Well, we added, Lisa was very generous in allowing us to add some things from local collectors and by local artists, and we have a pair of shoes that Madonna wore while she was filming Material Girl, the video in 1985.
Oh,
and so they're beaten up because she was dancing hard in those, probably over a couple of days to make that shoot. So they're a wonderful pair of shoes where she was trying to dress as much as possible like Marilyn Monroe.
And we had a picture also of some boots that you guys added as well, right? Tell me a little bit about that, because the toe really curves up super high there.
Exactly. There's a tradition in northern Mexico and here in the southern part of the United States called tribal, or tribal. And
there they are.
There they are. And the idea is that the guys have dance crews and they all dress in identical clothing with identical boots and they do dance-offs, and it's a dance competition. And we couldn't get anybody to lend us the really outrageous pair because sometimes they come up and they really touch your knees.
Oh, wow.
They curve around so high. We couldn't get anybody to loan those because they need them for competitions.
Yeah.
So this is a sort of moderate pair of tribal dancing shoes made by El Leon and in Guanajuato, Mexico.
Did you think it was just important to add something, you know, a little New Mexico flavor to this exhibit?
Exactly. Well, I think there's so many different ways. Lisa set up this wonderful structure of an exhibit, and we just wanted to sort of run with it, include a number of Native American artists who are so important to the artistic heritage of New Mexico, Hispanic artists, and the sort of Western wear, the cowboy culture as well.
Which I also think is fantastic that Andrew added those cowboy boots, because in fact one of the interesting things that I learned in curating this show is that in the West, at least, the first people that wore high heels were men. They were men's shoes originally, and they were sort of came into the West from the Near East, from Persia, where cavalrymen wore heeled boots, you know, to ride horses, to keep their feet in the stirrups. So there's a connection exactly with cowboy boots today. So I think it's great,
so cool.
a great connection to have made here.
Yeah, so just a great history lesson as well, right?
Yeah.
So any favorites?
Oh my goodness, I have a lot of favorites in the show. I mean, the Marilyn Monroe shoes, clearly, because those have a sort of iconic value to them. But there are some great, you know, really conceptual shoes. A young designer named Wendy Rienstra from Amsterdam has some amazing platform shoes in the show. And then, of course, there are the current favorites. There are a lot of wonderful Louboutins in the show, Roger Vivier. So there are a lot of really extraordinary designs.
Do you have a dollar amount for just the cost of every single shoe there, or just
together?
As a whole?
As a whole. You know, I don't, but I think it's probably considerable, especially if you consider some of the historical material. We have 18th century shoes in the show, so they have a different kind of value than contemporary shoes.
And this is at the Albuquerque Museum, correct?
Exactly. It's at the Albuquerque Museum. It opens on Saturday, May 30th. Lisa will be giving a talk at 1 o'clock at the museum on Saturday. Can't wait to hear her talk about the stories behind a lot of these shoes. And the exhibition continues through August 9th.
That's great. And the good thing is you just have to pay for your regular admission to the museum, right? And you get to enjoy this exhibit.
And we have lots of free hours.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoons were free, Sunday mornings were free, first Wednesday of the month were free.
Perfect.
So lots of different things going on.
I want to thank both of you guys for joining us this morning. It sounds like a great exhibit. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to stop by.
Thanks.
If you want more information, go to our website, krqe.com. We'll be right back.